Hi everyone, it is New Year's Eve 2021, December 31st, last day of what's been one hell of a year. So I thought it would be appropriate as part of my cancer healing, I don't know, whatever, to do two vlogs. One as I'm keeping myself up till midnight to watch the ball drop, thinking about what's transpired over the past year, things I want to leave back in 2021, call it my airing of grievances. Those of you that are Seinfeld fans that know about Festivus, which is a celebration for the rest of us, even though I celebrate Christmas, I wrote in my navigation journal my airing of grievances for things that I'd like to air about things I'm grieving or mad about or want to leave back in 2021. But then not wanting to leave things a glass half full cranky episode, tomorrow on January 1st, starting off the new year of 2022 and all the possibilities that could happen. And I pray to God those possibilities are good possibilities. I want to turn, so like today's going to be my airing of grievances and like, here's all the crap, get it out of my system. Tomorrow will be like, okay, fresh new start. It's a new year. It's January. You know, let's go into 2022 with a glass half full frame of mind. But before I do the glass half full part today, you get to join me in the Grinch with the glass half empty part. So my 2021, for me, I would say it's my year of COVID and cancer. I mean, yes, everyone's dealing with the pandemic right now. It's been going on since 2019. We're going into 2022, which is just crazy in and of itself. So yes, the pandemic is definitely one of the things I have to air about my grievances, because I'm just so over it. I'm just so over it. And I know everyone is. But I did get COVID this year in March. And that was just another one of the many things to add to the list of what's going on with my body, that why am I getting COVID now in March when I'm not around anybody? I had not been socializing much, wore my mask, followed all the rules, did all the things I was supposed to do, was working remotely. Still have no idea where I got COVID from. The only place that I could imagine I would have gotten COVID from is in March. There were 3 times that the fire alarm went off in my apartment complex. Not in my unit, but it's in one of the other units. And we had to obviously like leave the apartment and go outside, like a school fire drill, whatever. And I think it was a faulty board or something, but while we were walking outside, people were supposed to wear their masks in the hallway. Even if you're getting up at 2 in the morning, surprise, you have to go outside, you're supposed to still wear your mask in the frickin' hallway because it's a common hallway and there is a mandate to wear masks indoors. Well, there was then and there is again now. But not everybody did that. And I remember going outside and passing by my neighbors downstairs who don't live there anymore. They were having a party, because yeah, that's what you do during a pandemic, is have a party with a whole bunch of people at your apartment, without masks from all over the place. That's sarcasm. Anyhow, so fast forward, it's the only thing I could think of. I wasn't even grocery shopping at the time. I got COVID in March. And not one of those, I'm just a little bit sick kind of COVIDs. No, I was like down for the count. It was awful. I still have a little bit of PTSD even being in my room, because I spent obviously so much time in my room, because as soon as you find out you've got COVID, it's like door shut. That's it. You're in isolation. It sucked. And I truly believe that part of the reason why I got COVID in the first place, and why I was so down for the count, is because I was battling cancer the whole time and I just had no idea. I wrote on here 6 cavities. Something I forgot. I've not mentioned this in a vlog yet. I remember, like just an overview. I started having really weird health things go on for about 1.5 years before I found out that I had breast cancer. And it started off, which the first thing, it started off when I had my Mirena, my IUD replaced, which I had done several times, but I was just super bloated, and that's what happens. But it just never really went away. And I'm like, what? It was just odd. So there's a weird warning about the IUD, because then once I found out that I had cancer, there's nothing wrong with the IUD, but once they found out that I had cancer and that it was estrogen and progesterone fueled, like they whipped that sucker out of me, because it releases estrogen, and Lord knows I didn't want any more of that. So, yeah, there's a weird grievance about not having an IUD, and there will never be another one inside of me anymore. And fast forward all this time, like now my body's been pushed into menopause because of my second page of grievances is new words that I learned this past year in 2021 that I didn't want to ever know what they were. One of those is Lupron. So while I know it's there to help me, Lupron is what's pushing my body into menopause. It's much more calm now than it was before. You had seen my highs and lows of emotional crazy during what was supposed to be my periods that never came. But yeah, there's a weirdness of never needing to have an IUD again. I don't know. Some of these thoughts I'll explain more, and some I just throw out there. They're just like things I thought of and whatever. Like the 6 cavities thing. So yeah, so it started with the IUD thing. That was like in the summer. Wow, I guess like two years ago. It was the summer. Wait, no, it's December. It was 1.5 years ago. I'm spaz. It was 1.5 years ago, of when things started getting really weird. It was like July, or June, whatever it was. It was the summertime. And then I remember in 2021, I remember getting a phone call from my dentist. I'd gone for a cleaning like I always do. I'm super good about my oral hygiene. I had gotten a phone call from my dentist, and she said I had to come in because I had 6 cavities. And I'm like, what? Like 6 cavities? So I am like ridiculously meticulous about my teeth. These, I've said this before, but these aren't real. These are caps. That's other stories for another time. But I am very meticulous about my teeth now, because I wasn't when I was younger, which was part of the reason why these are caps. And I was fooling around with my son when he was a baby, and he cracked my tooth in half. Anyway, but she said I had 6 cavities, and I'm like, I haven't been told I have 6 cavities from a dentist since I was probably like 13. And back then, like, I could own up that, yeah, I didn't floss, I didn't brush my teeth all the time, you know, whatever. But now I'm like, I take super good care of my teeth, I floss, I water pick, I do all this crap, I have a Sulca brush. Like, why would I have 6 cavities? It was so weird. And like, it makes sense to me now that like my entire body was off. I have a dental implant down here. I don't know the timing. Honestly, I can't even remember the timing of when that whole thing happened, but I just thought it was kind of weird. I had brain fog, something else in 2021. I thought it was because of the kidney stone that I had in September. Granted, that was 2019, but again, still something weird that happened that was totally random. I'm like, why am I getting a kidney stone? I'm in the best like shape I had ever been in. I was eating super healthy. I'm like, I don't understand. Is it just water? Am I just not drinking enough water? Is that what happened? And that's not fully what happened. I had a kidney stone, and I'm like, what the hell? And those things hurt. Holy shit. If you've ever had a kidney stone, and if you haven't, oh my God, they're awful. But yeah, I had this stupid kidney stone, and then my whole life was about like endocrinologists and friggin' 24-hour damn urine samples. Peeing in a cone like I'm a friggin' dog. Not that dogs pee in a cone, but they wear cones, and I just thought of that. Just so many weird things. Okay, going back to my grievances. And this brings me to the COVID thing too. I thought I did all the right things, and I get COVID anyway. I had COVID in March, a year after the pandemic's like, March of 2020 was when everything shut down. And I got COVID in March of 2021. And I'm like, why am I getting COVID now? If anything, I think I would have gotten it like a year ago when like people didn't really know about it and weren't wearing masks and all that stuff. I don't understand. And in general, people just not doing things for the greater good, which has been a a large part of what I think a lot of people want to leave back in 2021. Mask wearing, vaccine getting, all these things that are helpful to do to keep everybody else healthy, and people just aren't doing. You know, don't tell me what to do. Meanwhile, it's the entire freaking planet right now that's dealing with COVID. And it's ridiculous. Getting political for a second, it was about a year ago in January that there was the insurrection. If you're watching this 10 years from now, like all this stuff must be in some crazy like history books or something, but yeah, the attack on the Capitol was absurd, and like, what the hell is happening to my country? And it's weird because now that we have a new president, and Trump's not in office anymore, like, it's like radio silent, like Trump silent, like you don't really hear anything about him anymore. But like friggin' a year ago in January 2021, oh my God, he sat in his friggin' van watching this mayhem happen in the Capitol. It was just absurd. The people not being kind to other people thing, man. Just grievances. That's one of the airing of my grievances. All right, rewinding. New words that I don't want to know, but do know, and are part of my life now. Tamoxifen, just took it a little while ago. It's pretty sad when I said to my son, I'm like, oh, can you get my meds? And he's like, your tamoxifen? I'm like, yeah. That shouldn't be a normal conversation that you have with your child. Like, can you bring my water bottle over? And by the way, my water bottle, although this is, I guess, a positive thing, but whatever, it's right next to me. Since I had my kidney stone, I really should say this for tomorrow, but it's pretty. I got this nice, pretty water bottle from my kids for my birthday. Oh, I turned 50. I guess that's another grievance, too, because this is not how I wanted to turn 50. But this has 40 or holds 40 ounces of water. So I drink 2 of these a day, so that I don't ever get a kidney stone again. Plus drink coffee and other stuff. So in total, I probably have about 120 ounces of fluid a day, which is kind of crazy. There's a time when I was constantly having to know where the closest restroom was, because I'm drinking so much fluid. But I had to drink that much fluid because of the whole kidney stone drama. Anyway, things I want to leave behind. I never want to have another kidney stone ever again. Other words I don't want to know, Zometa. It's really pissing me off. It was 2 weeks ago on Wednesday that I had my Zometa infusion. And my hands are back to normal again. I know, I think my last vlog is when my hands were still pretty stiff, but look, back to normal again. The only thing that's weird that's going on with me right now is that my right ankle is super swollen. I don't know what that's about. I have compression socks on right now. I'm annoyed that I have to wear compression socks. I'm annoyed that I own compression socks, more than one pair. I'm annoyed that I own compression socks and compression pants, or leggings, because I don't want to, but I did because I bought them right before my surgery, and I know they help you, but I don't want to need to have compression socks. Other words I don't want to know. Oncotype. A fun word, the way it sounds, not fun what it actually is. I'm not going to go into the whole, like, thing, but I didn't know what an oncotype was. It's like a score. It's like, what's your score? Ooh. Oh, God. It's like a grade. It's like a grade that you get on the cancer test. What's your oncotype score? And what's weird is all the people that I know that have cancer or had cancer, which unfortunately is a lot of women that I know, nobody talks about what their oncotype number was, and some don't even know what it is, which is interesting. If it's 25 or higher, it's recommended that you have chemo. Mine was 7. Lucky number 7, so I did not need chemo. But then still need the tamoxifen and the Zometa and the Lupron. Other words I didn't want to have to even think about making a decision about was subpectoral or prepectoral. I know way too much about my pectoral muscles in general. Another grievance I'll say while we're talking about pectorals. Because it's December 31st, I'm cured. Or healed. My mastectomy is totally healed now. At least according to my insurance company. But, so I'll show you what I can't do also. So my left arm, like, woo, I can do this. My right arm, no. My right arm, I'm 4 months post-op. I'll back up a little bit. I'm 4 months post-op. And my arm, I can go up to here. You can see how high that is. And even when I do that, like, it still hurts in here. And this is 4 months out. So what's interesting is I can go up here if my hand's facing that direction. If I go out to give a hug, I can go out to about here. Can you see that? I can go out to about here. I can't go the full way out. I'm about 45 degrees out, and that hurts. If my palm is facing down on my left arm, I can go all the way up and down with my palm facing down like this. I should have zoomed out more. My right arm, my palm facing down, this is as far as I can go. It just hurts too much if I go higher. It hurts underneath here. It hurt. This whole section here just hurts. So, I guess another grievance is the healthcare system right now. Well, the healthcare system in general. But right now, the issue with all of this tightness and stuff is not linked to stuff it's not my pecs. I mean, it is basically, yes, this whole section here, but this whole section here is shoulder. It is not part of what's going on here. This side of me is like, mushable, whatever. Here, super, super hard. It won't stretch. It's just like, no, the muscle just won't stretch. And it has to soften up. And they're going to continue my physical therapy. I have to get an MRI now on my shoulder. But with this Omicron, phase 25 of COVID, whatever, I've been waiting a week and a half to have someone call me back to schedule my MRI, and no one's been calling me back. So I call them and they're like, okay, we have the orders in, so we'll call you tomorrow. Okay, wait, no one calls. And this is just what healthcare is right now. And it's really freaking irritating. And my concern is, as COVID keeps getting, not worse, it's just, we have a new variant, whatever. And the cases are going up, although people aren't getting as sick from my understanding. But whatever, it's overloading the hospitals again. So they might get to a point where they say, well, your MRI isn't absolutely necessary. You can get by in life with your arm the way that it is. I don't know. I have an appointment with an orthopedic surgeon in 2 weeks or so, and better have the MRI before I go see him. I'm sure, whatever. I was going to say I'm very happy with the care that I do have, but that's a positive thing, and that's tomorrow. Today's not about positivity. So even this 4 months out or whatever, I don't even want to put my arm up again like I did, but that's as far as I can move my arm, and it's just irritating. Acronyms. Acronyms I didn't want to have to know. When you join survivorship groups or support groups, they use a lot of acronyms when you're on social media and stuff. Like DMX, I would think of like BMX, like bikes, like dirt bikes. Why is everyone talking about dirt bikes? DMX does not stand for dirt bikes. That would be BMX, but it's double mastectomy. Didn't know that. And SMX would be if you had a single mastectomy. And there's a whole long list of other acronyms that people use for stuff. And I just don't want to have to know what those acronyms are. But I do, and now I use them when I'm messaging stuff. And the survivorship groups, most of them suck. People are like super negative. Here's the 8,000 things that are wrong with me. That's not what I want. I have found some groups that are more supportive, not necessarily just whining and griping, not groping. All right. Oh, that's funny. Overloaded hospitals. I already said that. And not enough staff. So that I can't pee when I want to pee. So when I had my surgery, uh, when I had my surgery, it was in August, like mid-August. And I remember hitting the little nurse button because like you come out of surgery and you can't use your arms to do much of anything at all. So going to the bathroom is not the easiest thing to do. I literally couldn't even like move my arm like this to bend it after surgery. So I used a commode, but when I first had to use the bathroom, I didn't have a commode. So I pressed the little button and I waited and I waited and I waited. There were times when I had to wait like a half an hour to have someone come to help me get out of bed just to use the freaking commode. And I wasn't able to do it on my own. I was still under, like the anesthesia was slowly wearing off. And I'm like, I can't support myself on my legs. Like I need help standing to be able to freaking pee. Just, it's ludicrous. And I don't blame, like it's the circumstances. It is not the hospital. It's not the actual nurses that are there. It's just that there's not enough staffing because of all the crazy going on with this stupid pandemic. Friends, I still don't know quite what to make of that. I really don't. It's not like I want to leave the friends that have disappeared. It's a tough one. I really don't know what to make of it. You know, I know they have that expression, fair weathered friends, but like, I mean, I will own up for myself too, that when one of my very close friends had cancer and I got really weirded out, she wasn't herself. She went through chemo pretty harsh. And I didn't know what to do for her. And I kind of disappeared for a while. And people have done that with me. But like I've had friends that just like totally disappeared. People I used to see all the time, just like poof. Little like stupid petty arguments or petty things that were going on, and I don't see them anymore or talk to them anymore, and I don't quite know what to make of that. I don't know, it's weird. Again, I'll come back to this with the glass half fullness because it does make you realize about being your own friend and being protective of yourself and not putting up with things that don't fuel you. So, but like as people of who I knew them to be before, I miss those people. And it sucks that like I just don't see them and I don't hear from them. It's just like boom. I don't know. There was a time when I was like all into having these deep conversations with people trying to understand where they were coming from, but I'm not even in a place to do that. I tried that with one or two of my friends and they just didn't even respond. So, and right now, like I still, after all this time, it's been 4 months of since surgery, 5 months since I found out, and we're almost 6. Is that right? July, August, September, October, November, December. Wow, almost 6 months since I found out I had cancer. That's crazy. Airing of grievances. You're fine. Oh my God. Some doctors I need to not see anymore. And I'm working on, on switching some of my providers. But one of my doctors kept saying, oh, you're fine. You're fine. This is all fine. And I'm like, something's just not right. I don't feel like I'm fine. That's just normal. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Or they just like ship you off to somebody else. Go see this person. Go see that person. Go see this person. Like, who's in charge? You know, you're supposed to have like a PCP that's in charge, you know? But often that's not the case. Like, you have to be in charge. And I'm just sick of being in charge, to be honest with you. I'm sick of being in charge. And hearing you're fine. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just being paranoid, whatever. Every time I say that out loud to myself, it's 95% of the time, I'm not being paranoid. Some big shit's going on and I just am not aware of it just yet. And that was the case for this too. Why do I have cavities? Why do I have a kidney stone? Why do I have COVID? Why do all those things start with C's and K's? Weird. I don't know. But like, I wasn't fine. And like, I just wish they would have listened to me. Like, something's not right. Can you figure out what's not right? And then lo and behold, July, go in for the MRI thinking like, oh, it's just a baseline. Just want to make sure I get all my appointments taken care of. And they tell me, you're not going to die from this. Like, what? One in 3 women get cancer or breast cancer. That's the latest statistic I saw or read. 1 in 3. That's insane. That's insane. Insane. Something else to leave in 2021, my scars, my hatred of my scars. I used to always say that like scars, like they tell stories, you know, like I have this one scar on my hand right here. And it was when I was in an argument with someone. And I was in a bar and there was a guy there. I didn't really know who he was. And he not on purpose, just like he was drunk, whatever. He took his nail and like, I'm not, it's not like he went like this with his nail, but whatever. His nail went into my skin and like cut a chunk out of it. He was drinking too much, a bit too forceful, bumped into me, and I have a scar on my hand. But I remember every time I look at that scar, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I was in an argument with so-and-so. And now I have these 2 scars. And some people get cancer and they get, you know, or need a mastectomy or a double mastectomy, and they get the kind of scars that go underneath your boob that you don't really see. That's not me. My scars take up one side to the other on both sides, and I hate them. And I know it's only 4 months out, and I know it takes a long time to heal. And I know that eventually all scars, like, you know, will become more flesh colored, but right now they're not. And I look at them and I hate them. And every morning when I wake up and I mean, there is a positive thing, which I'll get to tomorrow, because today's not about positivity. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm wearing a tank top and I'm like, oh, look, my boobs are pretty like pert right now, and I'm laying on my back. But then I get up and I go to get changed, and I change my shirt and I look at my big 6-foot tall mirrors in the corner, and I see all of Jen and Jen's body that I don't even know what, like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't wear like sweaters as color. I don't usually wear like dismal colors. And I remember talking so much about my nipples and like grieving the nipples. Right now, I could give a flying fuck about my nipples. I don't really care. Well, I don't have them. But like, I don't even really care right now. I really don't. I remember walking to physical therapy one day and it was freezing cold outside. And I looked down just out of habit to know if I was like showing my headlights or not. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have headlights, so I don't have to worry about it. So there's a pro in that. We'll come back to that tomorrow when it's positivity day. And the con, even though I know that, you know, my body's all about me, but the reality is, you know, I'm a single woman, and the first time I take my top off in front of a prospective partner and they see my boobs, I don't know what that's going to be like. And I know if someone's freaked out by it, like, it's not the right person. But, you know, it's hard finding the right person. There's a lot of whack job people out there. And I just don't want to have something added onto the list to, like, you know, gotta find somebody with a big heart that's gonna love you no matter what. I haven't cried in a while. That's weird. I really haven't cried in a while. I don't like my body right now. The shape of my boobs is okay. They're not perfect, but they were certainly not perfect before. But I hate my scars. Every scar tells a story. This wasn't even a story. There was no fun thing to the story. There's no story. There's just a book that was handed to me. By the way, here's your story. Create it now. Like, I don't like to read. And then my weight. I'm down 5 pounds in the past week and a half. I don't read too much into my weight's all over the place. In general, since I've had the cancer, I'm up like 15, 20 pounds. I was given strict instructions to not try to lose weight right now because depriving myself of anything is not what, like, my body needs at all, or my psyche needs at all. It's kind of nice to hear that. Like, please don't try. I mean, I'll still walk and do all those things, like exercise, things that are healthy in general, but to deprive myself of food in the hopes of weight loss is not a thing for me right now. But I'm trying to understand my body. This 2021 body, I don't know. I don't know this body. And I'll segue into my 2022 that I need to get to the point of acceptance. I've gone through a lot of stages of grief pretty quick. And I know I was, like, depressed for quite some time. And I don't feel so much that way anymore. It's more just a sorting out. I'm definitely not at acceptance yet. I'm just still trying to sort it out. So yeah, the weight thing is there. But the reality is, like, getting dressed every day, I hate it. I hate it. Even leggings, which, like, you figure leggings should not be a problem. Like, they should easily, you know, slip on. It's not like they're jeans or something. And I'll put on leggings and I can't get them up past my thighs. And, like, I don't have big thigh. Well, I didn't used to have big. I don't have big thighs. It's this, like, tire thing that's, like, around where my butt is, and it's amusing because I've always had a flat butt that now I actually have, like, a curvaceous butt. But that's not the body that I've had for the past 49 years. And for my 50th birthday, I have this new body with these 2 boobs that have no nipples and big scars and this butt that I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know my body, and I'm very uncomfortable with it. Even with a winter jacket, I remember last winter, I literally tore my jacket on the right side, the seam that was, like, right under here. That hurts. The seam that's right under here, but on my right side, the side where the tumor was, I tore the seam. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. I must be, like, you know, gaining weight. And it wasn't even like a tight jacket. It's like I think it's a North Face jacket or something. Like, it has some give to it. And I'm like, I can't believe I tore the seam of my jacket. And I haven't gotten it fixed. It's still sitting by my front door. It's been sitting there for a year. Because I'm like, what's the point of having it fixed? I don't know this body. I don't know if I'll be able to fit in that coat again. Not because of my stomach, honestly, because of my chest. My cup size is smaller than what it was before. Not by much. It's like 50 cc's smaller than what they took out. but it's more like plump, so it sticks out. Where my other ones like were, 49-year-old boobs, so they were more pliable. These are not pliable. These are just here. Which brings me to immobility, which I kind of talked about. No one told me that I wouldn't be able to put a shirt over my head for 4 months. I didn't know that was a thing. No one told me that it would take me this many months to be able to use a pen again. I use these like super fine tipped, like felt. I have some of the old like 1980s Papermate ones too, but I bought a set of these, which are like super thin markers, but they don't bleed through paper because I have to push too hard to use a pen. And when I'm focusing on my PT exercises or whatever, I have to like think about the timing of what I'm doing with my arm throughout the day. Am I going to wash dishes today? Am I going to do laundry today? Am I going to try to pick up a couple of things at the grocery store? I have to plan out all those things in order to know how much I'm going to be using my arm. And it's way better. I know I'm not supposed to be optimistic. It's way better than it was 2 months ago. I started PT the end of October, so it was 2 months of PT pretty much, and I've come leaps and bounds in those 2 months, but I'm certainly by far not where I was before. I'm able to work like a full work day without even taking like a break. I do finances, so like the end of a calendar year is a very busy time for me. So I've worked a ton of hours this week, and I haven't needed the breaks that I typically need, which is nice. I mean, I know it's important to take breaks anyway, but I'm able to work more normally compared to where I was even a month ago. I already talked about my wardrobe. No sexy bras, no sexy underwear. Like, I'm not going to invest in sexy underwear right now. No. And my sexy bras are like these True & Company bras or sports bras or whatever. And it's taken a lot of trial and error to see what fits. The True & Co ones are really nice because they're just, they're stretchy and they're soft. And sometimes I just don't wear a bra at all because I just can't stand having something touch my boobs. The thought of an underwire, oh my God, I don't want an underwire near me. I don't need one, which is nice. But I'm not really wearing anything that's like sexy. My tank tops, when I go to sleep and I sleep in like in a tank top, that makes me feel sexy because it's form-fitting and don't have nipples to pop up if it's cold or something. And when I wake up in the morning, it looks like I have a bra on and I don't. Sorry, going back to negativity. Hot and cold, my body temperature. Yeah, it's crazy. I was hot for such a long time. I mean, like temperature hot. That and other hot too, but for a long time, the hot flashes were just like out of control. I've changed the timing of my tamoxifen, so I don't really have the hot flashes a lot anymore. If anything, I've been really cold, which is weird. It's weird that my boobs are always cold because there's no tissue. It's an implant and they're numb. So they get cold. There's not like, it takes time for all the circulatory stuff to start working again, but they're cold all the time. And my extremities are cold a lot. Which is weird because that's just been so recent. And before that, I was like sweating all the time. I just don't know my body at all. I stopped writing at that point because I figured 3 pages was enough and I'm at 40 minutes. But there's just a lot of stuff I just need to leave back in 2021 and turn the page and start off the new year. I mean, I know that's cliche about like resolutions, whatever. I'm not making resolutions. I'm making commitments to certain things for myself, and we'll talk about that more tomorrow. And people say that I'm inspirational and I'm so like, glass half full, whatever. And if I am, that's great. But it's not all humor and jokes. Every morning I wake up, I look in that mirror and I'm like, oh, I don't know what this body is. I don't know what's happening on the inside. I don't know. I was kayaking before. I was playing tennis before. And now it's like, if I can write with a pen for 5 minutes, it's like, woohoo. It's crazy. It's crazy. And in the back of my head, like, in the back of my head, which I guess is good. In the back of my head, I keep thinking, and then I want to throw in something positive. But as part of my healing, like, I just have to let it rip. I just have to throw all the things out there that I hate, that I don't like, that I'm not comfortable with, and just get it all out so I can turn that and start off next year from a different place. This was a big year. And like, why does shit things happen to good people? I don't know. I don't know. Most people are fighting something that you have no idea about. It's just some people talk about it more than others do. Maybe that's what makes me inspirational. I don't know. It's a lot of negativity. And it's like creepily quiet right now in my apartment. But man, when it hits midnight and I will blow my little thingy and twirl my little noisemaker and put my New Year's hat on and do all those things. And it's like I'm going to forget what's happened. I can't forget. My body is a constant reminder. And even when my scars are flesh colored, and even when I have like, whatever kind of tattooed nipple I have on, and I might look normal and gorgeous or whatever again, I'm not going to forget everything that happened. But I have to take all of that stuff, air it out, and then come back and know what to do with it going forward. Life is short. Betty White died today. She was 3 weeks from being, in 3 weeks she would have been 100. And Betty White died today. And I think like, what a grandiose life she led. And what a spitfire she was. And you take every day and you just, even if it's a pile of shit, it's what you're living. No one's going to expect you to be 100% all the time. You just can't. Whatever percent you can give, and it's going to need to be good enough. And the right people will be there. Yeah. There's still a lot I don't understand, and I may never understand. But I do feel lighter, at least getting it off my chest. I like, as much as I hate journaling, I like that I put it in here because it's like it's not in my head anymore. It's here, and it's a lot easier to let it go. In words and in thought. The reality is that like my boobs hurt right now. And I feel it a lot. Especially when the weather's bad. Like it's been raining here for way too long. And when the weather's bad and the barometric pressure drops, like anyone with aches and pains, they always get worse. And it's the same thing here. It's like they're just uncomfortable. And I wake up every day and they're freaking uncomfortable. I don't think there's been one morning I've woken up in the past 4 months where I'm like, oh, look at those. Like, no. Except for the times where I wear those tank tops, which those tank tops, I think, by the way, I think they're just Hanes. I don't know where they are. I'll find them tomorrow, whatever. Maybe I'll wear it for the vlog. I think it's just like Hanes or something. I can't remember. I got them online. But they're super comfortable. The light colored ones don't work because even though like you might not see this scar, whatever, you still see some of the indentation a little bit of where the scar is. If it's darker color, you don't see that. But I'm getting into positivity. So having said that, I let my grievances be aired and have it out of my space. And it's here, it's in that book. I have a couple of hours. What time is it? I have 2 hours left of 2021. And I don't want to super hyper analyze stuff. I want to go and watch Dick Clark's Rockany with my kids. See what antics Mariah Carey has up her sleeve this year. And then see what happens with 2022. It's a roller coaster. But I will not stay down in the roller coaster. Will not. All right, that's what I got. So stay tuned for tomorrow. I will vlog again tomorrow. I can't guarantee I'll have makeup on and good hair like I did today. But I will guarantee that I will be looking at things from a perspective of, okay, here's what you're handed, now what? What you gonna do? And it is not in my character to like stay down. I can be down, and that's okay, but not stay there. So stay tuned. See you tomorrow, and Happy New Year, everyone.